All right, so we are live. Welcome back, everyone. This time we're going to be looking at Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So Black Ops 7 has a lot of stuff coming for zombies this week. And we have new perks revealed, zombie gameplay trailer, new enemies, Ashes of the Damned. So much stuff has come out in the past, like, what, 1 day, 2 days? It's absolutely incredible at this point, right? So just check here. Yeah, so Black Ops has had a lot of updates. And again, these updates have been pretty important because they keep teasing us more and more and more. And I wonder how much
Hey everybody, we've just received
more info are we going to get this week. So let me check on that.
a few more teasers for Ashes of the Damned, the first Black Ops 7 Zombies map. Now, first and foremost, Treyarch have changed their Twitter profile picture to a brand new perk icon, with the icon appearing to be a coffee or tea cup of some kind. As to the actual effects of this perk, I'm not entirely sure yet, and I'm sure it will be revealed soon. But given the amount of perks over the years, I'm sure it could either be perhaps a rework of a past perk that we've seen before, or maybe something new altogether. Be sure to comment down below your own thoughts on the matter.
Yeah, I personally feel like a lot of these perks that we are seeing right now, again, they are coming up with new and new perks, more and more perks, and this is where they really win. They always have some ideas how to improve the game. Like, look at Black Ops, for example, the previous Black Ops games. Every single time there was some sort of a new perk. Maybe it was a new map, and that's what's really important, right?
Something new altogether. Be sure to comment down below your own thoughts on the matter. In addition, we also got 2 new teaser images for the map itself, taking the form of reflections in the rearview mirror of the Wonder Vehicle, seemingly.
So yeah, I saw a lot of these. Could be like a swarm of zombies overall.
In the first image, we can see what appears to be that new denizen sort of enemy that you can see in the Black Ops 7 Zombies key art, which, in my opinion, also pretty closely resembles the bios from the COD Zombies comic. And we also get a first look at what appears to be a diner POI, which was previously hinted at in the Panos radio in Wrecking.
So maybe this could be a reference to Black Ops 2, in my opinion. We're going to see if that happens.
Something interesting to note is that this appears to not be the original transit diner, as you can see a sign that appears to say Rita's in the background. And something else is that there appears to be a green light of some kind in the background of the mirror reflection, which I'll come back to a bit later. The second image gives us a better look at the bear enemy type that can also be seen in the key art, in another POI which, in my opinion, looks like it could be farm, but this one's a bit blurrier and it's hard to tell for sure.
Personally, new enemies are a thing. Oh, look at this bear. Absolutely beautiful. But this could be a rework of the map, guys. So something to keep in mind.
To not be the original transit diner, as you can see a sign that appears to say Rita's in the background. And something else is that there appears to be a green light of some kind in the background of the mirror reflection, which I'll come back to a bit later. The second image gives us a better look at the bear enemy type that can also be seen in the key art, in another POI which, in my opinion, looks like it could be farm, but this one's a bit blurrier and it's hard to tell for sure. We also see a red light, similar seeming in shape and structure to the green light in the first image. Could this perhaps be a new version of a transit street lamp system? Maybe...
Yeah, some kind of teleporter is definitely possible.
Teleporting you to color-coded lamps rather than random locations? Hey again, everybody. While this video was in editing, Treyarch actually just announced that the Black Ops 7 Zombies reveal trailer is coming on September 24th,
So yeah, September 24th is going to be the key updates. I will keep you guys updated on that. But personally, what do you think these teasers are? They're absolutely incredible, guys. And we're possibly going to be seeing some more in the future updates. Now, Black Ops 7 finally listening to feedback. You know, there's been big battle between Black Ops 7 and Battlefield 6. This has been like the biggest talk of 2025 probably. And the thing is, because Battlefield, was actually pretty good. It surprised everyone. And now a lot of people are talking, the Black Ops sucks. It's not going to do well. But man, once we saw these type of updates, it really makes you think. I personally think Black Ops has a lot of potential here.
I'd love to have in the community, but for now, let's get into it. So let's start out with some of the stuff that pertains to like gameplay details. There was another dev talk that was revealed today by Treyarch, something that they put out a quick little snippet a couple of days ago and then asked for even more questions. Now we've actually had more information.
So yeah, it does seem like they are actually going through with it, and you know, doubling down on what seems to be, you know, their plan to make the community happy. And that's what I really like to see, right? Actually listening and going far ahead for it. So yeah, that is a huge news overall.
To be the case here as much within Black Ops 7. And they also seem to be taking the design approach of classic maps and applying them here to Black Ops 7, like the philosophy of how they make these, with 3-lane maps being the North Star for these map designs. That was something that has deviated a little bit in the past, but they're going to predominantly again focus on 3-lane maps. Whether they're symmetrical or asymmetrical, we don't know that detail just yet, but 3-lane...
Yeah, personally, I'm not too scared about the maps. There's gonna be... They're always, like, there's always one map that's really bad, and then there's 10 maps that are really good, right?
Maps will be that North Star for how a lot of these will work. Inside these maps, it's mentioned there are no manual doors. Probably a nice thing to see coming out of the last couple of years where it's been a staple in the multiplayer and thus Warzone side of things as well. They did mention that there are a few automatic doors, like Drone from Black Ops 2 was one that was mentioned in particular by Matt Schranz.
I mean, these maps just look perfect when you remember, you know, people are looking for a sense of nostalgia, and that's what they're getting now. You know, they're getting a sense, okay, you know, this is like the old times when I played Black Ops 2. So yeah, these are definitely going to have some different types. Like a lot of people were complaining about flying and stuff. I'm not too worried about it.
Though I will say Black Ops 4, I think, is probably the better example here of that, because there were a ton within Black Ops 4. But that's going to be something you see those. If there's any visual cutoff of lanes, it's going to be something that is activated by walking up to it. They also mentioned that Black Ops 2 remasters will be coming, and that we could end up seeing a couple of these relatively shortly after launch, with the leading theories being Yemen and Meltdown, where Matt Schranz gave a little bit of a...
I mean, why not both?
A preview that some of these maps, these
both.
throwbacks, would be Black Ops 2 competitive search and destroy maps. Maps that we haven't quite seen as well remastered since then. So both of those options definitely classics in the competitive space, but looking forward to seeing those return, and they should be returning relatively shortly after launch. Additionally, Matt Schranz ended up going a bit further beyond just this video and talked about a few things on Twitter, where he mentioned that health bars are going to be aimed to be something that makes it into the beta, but as a toggleable item. So if you like to see that health bar above an enemy player's name, you will end up seeing that, or you can turn it off. Though it was not guaranteed that would be the case.
I'm not too much of a fan of health bars.
It is something that looks to be the end goal here. I would imagine if it's not in for beta, it's at least in there for launch. And they also mentioned that TTK is looking to be about the same as Black Ops 6. Now, that's probably hit or miss for some people. Some people maybe love Black Ops 6's TTK. Some maybe think it's a little too fast still. But that's something that at least you have the baseline of understanding.
I personally think it's too fast. It's way too fast for me, but you know, the weapons they're releasing, they're faster TTK in my opinion.
Of how a lot of those gunfights
Just look at
will
Warzone.
go. Honestly, I appreciate this kind of transparency and ease of access to answers. I do hope there's more dev talks here in the near future. Honestly, if this was like a weekly discussion, that'd be, I think, really cool, giving answers to the community and these questions that players will have in as rapid a session as possible to keep that conversation and the intrigue there where possible. This might have been done to provide more context and stuff that may not have been able to be stressed on in the initial reveal, or it might have been done to rehabilitate some of the early reception of the game. But whatever the reason, I don't really care. I'm just happy that we're seeing this open communication with the community, as I say every single year. I think that is a super nice thing to have. I just hope that it keeps up throughout the year, though, of course, historically speaking, it hasn't been this level of transparency all year round. But beyond that, we also did see some direct changes already being made, where Treyarch recently announced the change to the Vault Edition items in the aims to keep with the more thematic cohesion of Black Ops 7.
Nice. Here, where I feel like is a big problem is the vaults can get super expensive for some people. Don't you guys understand, like, you are buying a pre-release, and I'm all up for it, especially for us content creators. The issue is it is very expensive at this point at what you get for 20, while Treyarch kept adding more items into that.
They announced, in the spirit of addressing some recent feedback, we're making a few visual changes to some of the Vault Edition operators, starting with our favorite post-apocalyptic bus driver. We think it's pretty face-melting. Now, side by side, you can tell that there have been a few changes done, the face for the operator being the biggest part here of it. It's a bit more of a crazier skin design overall, sure.
I really like the AI feel of this. Like, it looks super nice, to be honest. Look at that. absolutely amazing. Like, look at this detail from the particles.
But not as out there as it was, and it's now kind of in line with previous Vault Edition skins that have been a little out there. Also, it's at least a bit more in line with Black Ops 2 throwbacks and, again, the thematic cohesion of what we see with Black Ops 7 overall, with this now being explicitly Ted's face rather than a random-looking operator over top a robot's body.
Nice.
However, the phrasing of "we're making it..."
Like, a lot of people were complaining about that. We're making a few visual changes to some of the Vault Edition operators, starting with our favorite post-apocalyptic bus driver. Again, a lot of people were asking for that, and it got improved. And I think here the skins look super awesome anyway. I don't see anyone complaining about that. I just feel like they don't like futuristic games.
I'm not entirely sure how you change the Reaper skin unless you just get rid of Reaper altogether, which won't happen, but both direct adjustments based on feedback for skins. But probably the bigger change here, or the biggest change in feedback for skins in particular, is that Carry Forward was recently canceled. Now, this isn't necessarily brand new news. It was something that, again, I was out of town when this was announced, but it is something that Carry Forward in the larger aspect has been canceled thus far.
I kind of agree with this. The issue with this is because a lot of people, you know, already have weapons unlocked, and everyone, like, at launch should have a fair chance to actually level up their gear, not have like a weapon that's absolutely pro and dominating.
What still will transfer is your Gobblegums and your double XP tokens, so your smaller things that are account-specific, stuff that is just gameplay modifiers like that, you will end up having the ability to have that. So if you are looking to grind out weapons, prestige, whatever the case at launch, or jumping in with some stuff for zombies immediately,
Hi guys,
you'll
Mr.
have all
Waffles
of
here.
that.
Today
You can
we're going to be
utilize
reacting
that at any point, but things like weapons, camos, operators, operator skins, calling cards, that kind of stuff, not going to be jumping over into Black Ops 7.
I mean, the calling cards were pretty amazing, but sad we're losing that, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure that's because Treyarch can now, like, Call of Duty can push more of their own new calling cards, which are going to get sold. That's my opinion.
As we saw with Modern Warfare 2 into...
Like, this is my opinion, is what's going to happen here, is they're going to push that forward. So a lot of this will not go forward, but they don't care because so much new content will come in.
Modern Warfare 3. Now, on the surface, for the most part, it seems like it's a positive. It seems like it's in direct relation to what the community wanted. We'll touch on that in a second, but it's nice to say that we won't see Beavis and Butthead, Stan Smith, Roger, and that cast and crew of wacky collabs.
So again, this is what people were asking for. This is why I feel really good about the Black Ops game. They want to feel something authentic.
Coming over into Black Ops 7 this year from day one, having at least a little bit more in terms of the thematic cohesion. Now, I will say it was nice that this stuff wasn't going to transfer until Season 1. I think that in the sense of the thematic look of the game, having that preseason to itself was something that I was at least okay with that.
I feel like in terms of lore, it needs to be a realistic, you know, at launch. They're marketing it as a realistic game, so it should be at least somehow real.
But I certainly didn't expect them to just get rid of everything coming like that. Now, the larger conversation, when you start to think at it, with back-to-back content is something that is interesting because I think it could have been better if it was like pick or choose, not an all or nothing type of thing. Because, for example,
We're already getting some goodies for pre-ordering the game.
Content that's going to have a lot of one-to-one parity that's now going to be missing. So you're going to have operators and skins that would be there again that you might have to rebuy, that are just completely neglected, whatever the case. I think ultimately from an aesthetic perspective, it's a net positive, but I think the easier thing would have just been to do a skin filter. And I think that that would have made everybody happy at that point.
I think that's something they could add later in the game, right?
You allow people that want their stuff to carry over and what they paid for to go into the next game. They're happy. The people that don't want to see Beavis and Butthead, they're happy. That kind of stuff. It would have just been super easy, I think, to please everyone with that. And it's weird because, like, the tech has been there for years. I always come back to it with the CDL because when I first learned about it, it was a bit mind-blowing. Like, for the dumbest reason, because of course it makes sense for it to work. But I think it was like a Cold War or Vanguard match. I noticed that in a match between Atlanta and Toronto, a FaZe player picked up a weapon off Toronto, and the camo was a FaZe camo, which at first glance it's not any sort of conspiracy or anything crazy until you realized, wait a second, that gun just had a Toronto camo on it from the last second in that point of view. From a viewing purpose for a cohesive environment and likely to push more sales of team packs, the CODcast or broadcast view would apply the team pack camo to the corresponding team in real time. Thus, a filter of some kind, whereas the pros may not have had any camo enabled or some camo differently altogether, but not something that you end up seeing on the broadcast. Additionally, we've also seen it before with platform exclusive stuff, where either one, they just won't show up if they're on, say, Xbox or PC, where historically PlayStation has had the exclusives. Funnily enough, there's actually something that went a step further sometimes, where those skins just sometimes were not in the game files. Like the Oni operator and the M4 blueprints, those were on PlayStation, but truly, like the Xbox and PC versions did not have those assets in the game files. They were just straight up not there until about a year later when that exclusivity window was ending. So if you were to pick up one of those guns or kill an operator that wasn't Oni, they were just a default operator or default M4. But that wasn't always the case. So
I mean, I pretty much agree that, no carry forward also means everybody, as I said, every single pro player in Black Ops 6, he will have to grind for the weapons, for the skins, for the everything, and everyone will have a same feeling. At least, when streamers play day one, they don't want to see random skins flying around. They want to see what Black Ops 7 is really about.
Tech is and has been there, and I think that's really all people needed for those that made a fuss about the cohesive aesthetic of the game. Personally, I don't care about all the skins. Sure, push the boundaries a bit, but at least to me, have a visual identity that doesn't go from like a 3D to cel-shaded 2D animation style and have that all running around in the same environment. A filter would have been the best option for all of that, I think. Those who value those purchases again in Black Ops 6 can have them carry over into the next game and don't have any feeling of loss, while those sick of them can just have the appearances turned off. Just feel like that would have been the easier thing, but anyways, carry forward in the broader perspective is canceled. But all in all, I'm actually pleasantly surprised that we're seeing changes in this kind of communication right up front. The game does objectively have some stuff that I think is really cool coming this year. The problem that I've said from day one, though, is how do you get people in the door and justify that $70 price tag on what, especially at reveal, was an offering that appeared to be just a thematic skin change of Black Ops 6 and a campaign that showcased, first and foremost, nothing that was really all that great for people. Like, I still think that the handling of how things were presented to the public was just very poorly done. Like, if you look at the trailer differences, the reveal trailer, a mind-bendy, futuristic, and like super jump and kind of super soldier looking campaign, has 47 million views. Now the most viewed trailer in COD history, by the way. Most of that I would imagine though coming from like embedded ads and such, but point still stands. It's the most viewed trailer in COD history. Black Ops 7's direct that actually goes into changes, what's different, the new features and content, explaining things concisely, and actually giving a lot of context to things that are important to know, 364,000 views. The thing that could have cleared up a lot of the frustration.
That's the issue. Like, their communication is pretty much off at this point. Like, they aren't really going 100% of communicating. I feel like some of the communication they have could be much better, basically. And that worries me sometimes a bit. But, I mean, it's not forever like this. It's just that they need probably a better team, because a lot of people were complaining at the start. Now they're suddenly, not feeling upset about it. So just, it's going to be probably much better. Like, Call of Duty is going to be much better than we think.
Frustration and angry feelings, I think, from day one has less than 1% of the total views of the trailer that everyone saw and a lot of people disliked. So, like, from the get-go, they had their work cut out for them, but I do like that they're trying to claw their way back. They're trying to make these changes in accordance with
I mean, a lot of people who are calling, Black Ops Battlefield 7 is the best. I feel this narrative has completely changed now. This narrative is completely different than it is before. So let that just sink in.
Your feedback with communication in the community and transparency there. So for that, I'm all for it, man. Bring it on. It is going to be something that if they can keep this up, I think you start to climb back uphill a little bit. And I know, again, the biggest thing is it going to be worth that $70? That's still subjective, and it's still something that, yes, there is cool stuff on the other side of it, but they have to make it worth, I think, to the general public to make it something worth getting to the other side. But anyways, that's where we're going to wrap it up. Wanted to fill you guys in on some...
That's a pretty good video, to be honest. I pretty much agree everything with that. It is a very fair point. And yeah, Black Ops 7, I'm ready. You know, it's coming out there. So let me just add a webcam over here. Just 1 second. Let me see, display video capture. Bam and bam. Activate. Okay, should be perfect now. Okay, just to go into mid, like if I want to change something on my screen. So yeah, let us check out what else we have. Black Ops 7 Zombies Ashes of the Dam cinematic cutscene.
To the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Ashes of the Dam.
So let me just refresh that. Yeah, so there's
Hi guys, Mr. Awfuls here. Today we are going to be reacting to
much news for Black Ops. It's absolutely insane. And we had some pretty good news, and especially zombies. Like, this is the thing that people are most hyped about.
the new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Ashes of the Damned cinematic. It's just come out. Zombies Week is finally going somewhere. We're going to react to it right now. We've got my Twitch chat right here, twitch.tv/MrOffWaffles if you want to join these streams in the future. Let's go. Let's watch this thing together, baby. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's so crispy. It's so crispy, bro. So this part of it, yeah. Ironically, I've actually not seen this, but I know what this is. This is the Reckoning ending, right? Or is it, I don't know. I haven't seen the Reckoning ending yet.
I mean, the thing here is this just continues the lore for Call of Duty. That's why people are excited. People are excited what happens, you know, continuing the story, basically. And I feel like the DLCs will push on through on what happens next, in my opinion. Like, the DLCs will show us what really happened.
Reckoning ending, right?
I got that straight. It is a party, and y'all are the guests of honor.
Wait, he's like Western, bro.
Technically, the main course.
So I find it pretty interesting. They have like different bosses now, which is pretty much amazing. We haven't seen that before. Well, we did see bosses, but this type, you know, this is something that you couldn't do in Black Ops 2 and you can now do in Black Ops 7.
And who the fuck are you?
Yeah. I'm the great voice.
I know. Y'all are confused. So was
So I'm guessing he has some kind of curse.
I. But as they say, this too shall pass.
I'm sorry. I'm pausing it just for a second. Bro, why
I guess he's stealing his souls, right? That would make sense.
does it look like the guy from the Fallout series? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Is his name
him.
Walter Goggins? Why am I getting Walter Goggins vibes? Am I crazy?
See y'all real soon.
And then he's just
All right, so maybe taking souls would heal him up. Who knows? Definitely excited to hear more about that, though.
gone?
In the meantime, why don't y'all get to know some of the natives?
Wait. What? Oh, that's such a crispy shot, bro. Hell pigs.
Kill them or be killed!
So yeah, this could be like new, faster moving zombies. This is what people asked for, like something that's fast.
Okay, we're hearing them talk.
And
It's happening.
melee weapons.
Okay, Carver. Dude, the zombies look so sick. Okay, hell yeah.
So yeah, it's all those returning characters we saw in Black Ops 6. They're returning to Black Ops 7, and they're returning, you know, bad.
Sound team's gone crazy, as usual. Okay, give us...
So yeah, they throw here something like, maybe we will have some environment destruction. That would be pretty amazing. But who knows? Maybe it's going to be a boss battle, and then it's going to be like, you can buy traps. I will definitely love that, to be honest. Let me know what you guys think in comments below as well.
Okay, give us destructible environments. Do it.
I mean, at this point, they have the engine to do destructible environments, so why wouldn't they do it? Wow.
Oh, you all are some bona fide cutthroat killers. This is gonna be fun.
Oh my. If we get like an 8-player mode, I would cry. Like, that would be amazing.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, hold on. Let me just mute my alerts for a second. First of all, who is this man? Like, who is that? Also, I hate this logo. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not rocking with that logo. It looks very strange. If you can see this video right now, who is this? I think we should just run it back and we should pause it as we go. They come out here.
So some sort of teleportation, in my opinion.
Welcome
Obviously, we see these lot.
party.
Fine.
We got that straight.
You got that straight. I'm the guy.
And y'all are the guests of honor.
I'm the new big bad scary man.
Or, technically.
Dude, talk about aura farming. Bro,
I mean, this is like a boss. Maybe there's gonna be one skeleton and second skeleton. I really want to see how these boss battles work.
is John Shadowsmith.
The
Like,
main course.
And who the fuck are you?
I know. Y'all are confused.
dude, his design is actually so cool. I love his design.
Was I?
Like, what is this logo as well?
But as they
This could be like some sort of a faction, in my opinion.
say,
And did he really have to farm that hard with the sunglasses, bro? Like,
this too shall pass.
and what's the deal with his eyes? So he doesn't have glowing zombie eyes,
Probably like something with zombies.
but he does have glowing eyes. He's got like white glow. And why are his skulls feeding on their like what is? Yeah, it's actually, you're so right, Reggie. It's kind of giving some sort of mummy vibes almost. Is it Jebediah Brown? It could be.
Okay, this stealing of souls, like, that definitely means something. Perhaps that's how you revive teammates. That's also a possibility.
I will say, this doesn't excite me in the way that the Liberty Falls cutscene excited me. That cutscene was so insane, bro.
This is like a follow-up to Liberty Falls. Like, Liberty Falls was amazing. It was like a movie, but this is really gonna be like a follow-up of sorts.
Like, that was an unbelievable cutscene. This is visually stunning. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous, but it is just like cool action.
I feel like Black Ops 8 will be like the continuing part of this story, like the ending of this character arcs. So this will be the mid, and Black Ops 7 will be the start, and Black Ops 9 will be like the ending for all these characters in some short form.
And to be honest, I'll take cool action, but just to like rank it amongst recent like intros and cinematics and stuff, that Liberty Falls intro was so phenomenal. I said it at the time, I'm pretty sure, like one of the best zombies cutscenes we've ever had in history. And this looks stunning. But bro, I'm very curious about this. It's like he's got like cutlasses, dude. And I think he's got one on his side as well. But yeah, like, very cool. Also, bro, his ear. Look how large his ear is. This man can hear things from miles away, dude. What?
I feel like this is just like he was cursed with something. That's a very big possibility here.
Like, so many questions about him. He also still could be good. Like,
I mean, he could help us, yeah, and he would be helping from the zombies, but didn't he literally, like, attack them, bro?
There's a blog post, guys. We'll check that out in a second. We're going to make that as a separate video. I'm just doing the reaction to the trailer right now. Like, we don't yet know if he's actually evil, even. Like, we've seen this guy in the mirror in Liberty Falls because he sucks Ava through the mirror, right? So we've seen him there. Yep. And we've obviously seen this, like we saw the little top-down shot. We got that little preview. We could see his hat there. But we really don't know his motives right now. We don't know why he's... I don't know, like...
In the meantime, why don't y'all get to know some of the natives?
But it does certainly seem like he's a new announcer.
Natives, I guess, like the zombies. Maybe he's a native as well that got cursed. I feel like he's gonna be the boss, not gonna be helping. Why would they reveal someone that helps?
Which is long overdue because the whole Forsaken thing and then the, like, not Forsaken thing, the Sam thing for Black Ops 6 was fine, I think. But it's going to be really nice to have a new announcer that's got more character to them. And it feels like that's exactly where they're going with this. Like, he's going to be just kind of sarcastically over our shoulder the whole time. Like, mind, I see you saying Shadow Man in the chat. He just doesn't give me Shadow Man energy at all. Like, he feels so different to the Shadow Man. It could be the Shadow Man has actually, like, a council of Shadow Smiths, right? And this is just one of the members of the council. Like, it could be that sort of scenario where we thought there's a blog post, guys, Monty and the Shadow Man were actually the very top of the food chain. But then actually...
Oh, yeah. So basically this could be like a mini boss of sorts as well. That is possible.
Are not representative.
I'm really wondering how this will work out. It could go either way.
Sorry, cinematics are not representative of gameplay, right? I have to give credit to, I think it's Platige is the name of the Polish studio that is, like, responsible for doing all of these, I think. I could be wrong about that, but they've at least been doing them, I believe, since Modern Warfare Zombies, something like that. They're phenomenal at what they do. And, I mean, you can just see here, like, the fidelity of this cutscene is unreal. It's just unreal. Also, this shot, can we just appreciate this? Look at this. This is such a...
This is like such a detail that will probably tell us more after in the lore. Perhaps they're cursed and need to get uncursed. That's my personal opinion.
Tiny detail, but look... So they go into, like, zombified mode, and then as the shot changes here, Nikolai stamps on his gun, flicks it up into the air, catches it, and shoots the zombie. Let's watch this in, like, 0.2.
They pretty much all have combat experience. Like, there's gonna be lore for each of these characters, I guarantee you.
5. Like, it's that attention to detail that you might never notice that the first time you watch it, but check this out. Look. He stamps on the gun, flicks it into the air, like stamping on the gun butt, catches it, bang. Like, that's so sick, bro. That's so sick, dude. The cutscene team are amazing. They're just so amazing at what they do. So,
like, they have the budget of a movie. That's what makes it incredible. So, Black Ops 7, Zombies. I feel like it got some small, you know, small delay, but that's completely fine. There's no worries about it. Still wins at every single point. So Black Ops 7 Zombies reveal
into the Black Ops 7. So this is coming off.
So we have so many streamers reacting to this. I want to see myself. You know, there's been so much news for Black Ops. We already saw the trailer, but I want to see if he adds something that nobody else saw. I personally said there's going to be at least 8 people here, right?
Be fun.
Okay, and that's it. Very vague, to be honest. Like,
I feel like the teasers they had, environmental destruction, like, if you think about it, it's pretty obvious here.
At least that was longer than like a minute. Most zombie cutscenes aren't even longer than a minute, so I gotta give it respect for that, to be quite honest. But ladies and gentlemen, let's actually take a look here at the actual blog intel.
So yeah, the blog is gonna be interesting because that's gonna tell us a lot of the stuff. But as I said, this could be the mini boss here.
Let's watch the trailer for Ashes of the Damned. This is basically, it's kind of weird. For the blog, they kind of just re-summarize what happened in the trailer. So let's just get to the part where they all got sucked dry, right? So a skull detaches its jaw and violently expunges life force from the assembled crew, sucking essence into its maw while sharing its meal with its master, seemingly
that's basically souls, right? Very likely that's gonna be the souls, and it's sucking the souls. Drain crew scrambles into action, forced into blood and guts as they slowly tear apart the undead. I mean, these undead don't look like some normal undead. They look like the special Black Ops zombies undead.
Granting the mysterious figure more than a taste of their souls. He slowly turns and leaves, but not before summoning some immediate reanimated threats. Like, okay, so they're also vague in the blog as to what's actually going on. The Drain crew
they won't tell us because they want us to make the story for it. So that's the real thing.
Scrambles into action, forcing into a ballet of blood and guts as they slowly tear apart the undead. It's only after the eight of them step out into what was once the Janus Towers Plaza that a full realization becomes apparent we're not in West Virginia anymore. Okay, so basically we're in the dark ether then, right? We are literally just been teleported from the reckoning into the transit map. How and why are the crew
welcome to the ultimate guide?
These never before seen incarnations. And how?
So again, yeah, these are gonna be possessed, and maybe you have to free yourself or free your friends from the souls. It's very much possible that happens. So Arcader, where these never seen before incarnations, again, there could be a machine working behind this. There's gonna be decent lore into this. I'm feeling like a machine. Again, we saw machines before in Black Ops. We saw all this stuff being talked about, and finally we are
welcome to the
horror news. So what do you guys
I wasn't
gonna
make
sorry about the noises here. It's absolutely my stream is clear with everything, like all the Black Ops stuff, because we had a lot here. But again, seems like there's gonna be old members, but then there's also gonna be new members. And if we got 8 players, maybe in the future, maybe even a DLC, you know, I wouldn't mind 8 players, you know, just increase double the zombies. It's going to be an open world map. You know, it would be nice.
Tell Blast full zombies reveal next week. Head back to the call. How and why are the crew transported into the dark ether? Who are these never before seen incarnations? And how did they get here? Who can be trusted? Right? So this is the thing. It's not Primus and it's not Ultimus. I think what was leaked is that these guys are continuation of Primus, but they're the Dark Ether crew. They don't actually have like a set name yet, though. Find out Black Ops 7 on November 14th. Okay, yeah, we'll be there. Okay, and so here they're basically just showing off each of the characters. We kind of already know this. Gregory Weaver, Gray, yeah, Carver, Maya is
we knew these, but why are they looking like, you know, like they just woke up
again in here? I know a lot of people were wondering what's the point of Maya being in here.
I personally think it could be some sort of a teleporter.
Hope this character gets a little bit more character explanation.
Yeah, I really feel like they kind of missed with Maya because there could be more in Black Ops. I didn't really care about Maya that much. Maybe some people did, but I personally did not care at all.
Takio as well, looking absolutely incredible. I love this.
And I feel like if they added melee, like a katana or like some sort of slashing, it would make the game very fun, even if for one character.
Redesign. He looks great. Nikolai, I'm so happy that the original voice actor is coming out. Notice how Takio didn't speak again, right? So they're really making it so that we don't hear his new voice actor until the game officially comes out, which is going to be interesting because I wonder if the community is going to be upset about this. I'm assuming yes, but I have no clue, to be honest.
Now, this is personally my favorite Atquirk Richtofen is the correct pronunciation. Hero finds himself torn in 1945 in a world. Again, further, it's my teleporter theory is correct.
And then obviously Richtofen looking great. And so here, let's just start off here. Incoming intel.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back.
Zombies reveal next week. Head back to the Call of Duty blog next week and prepare for a massive intel blast.
So
okay,
yeah, next week is gonna be.
We're actually gonna be just getting a lot more. Today, I think, was just like a little bit of a teaser of what's
going on, guys.
Bro, it's gonna be so funny.
I don't know why it's spamming another video here, but look.
Looks pretty cool. I just don't like that he's holding the little freaking things from
I mean, these calls will probably be explained later, right?
Vanguard that talk. I don't know what his point is. He does seem like something relevant to transit. He might actually be a specific character, maybe from like the transit radios. I don't pay full attention to the whole Dark Ether story, so maybe we know who this guy is. I have no clue. But here we actually have the early access beta for October 2nd, October 5th. By this time, I will literally be in my new setup for this whole time. And so, yeah, here we go.
So, yeah, pretty big thing that's happening here.
Pre-order Black Ops 7 now.
The new villain.
To come. So they're basically just giving some credits and stuff. But
tons of updates for that as well. Like tons. Again, next week, guys, I'm going to tell you more. But again, these souls, remember, souls and teleporters and mini bosses, all of that is going to be in Black Ops 7.
To a brand new video. So today we have information on the Black Ops 7 multiplayer.
Yeah, so I've been talking a lot about zombies, but nothing about
what's going on
multiplayer. That's because there hasn't been that much news. But here we have Black Ops news, you know. Black Ops news is multiplayer is pretty awesome. That's why I want to hear more about it. Again, I don't want skins running around. I want to feel how Black Ops single player will feel.
Reveal trailer. Now, I know we've seen the direct. We've seen some footage of Black Ops 7. But what we've seen so far is actually the story, the campaign, all the wacky, crazy stuff with like the super jumps and like the giant people and the buildings flipped all around. That's actually been campaign the entire time. And I feel...
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty obvious. That was campaign because I don't think, you know, people would run it like civilians would run the multiplayer maps.
Like this is what Call of Duty needs in order to reveal that Black Ops 7 isn't as unrealistic and as weird as people are seemingly thinking that it is. So Call of Duty actually posted a roadmap today and they gave us some more information going on in terms of the Black Ops 7 reveal, the multiplayer showcasing, and all of that good stuff. And then before that, we actually ended up getting more marketing for zombies. So Treyarch went ahead and...
So that's what they do now. The game is coming in what, like few days? Black Ops 7, the release date, November 14th, beta October 2nd. So again, it's coming in 12 days.
Changed and updated their profile picture to this unknown perk. Now, we have no idea what it is, but lately Treyarch has been revealing and talking about zombies nonstop. It's like a sort of zombies week that they've been doing. And so we know that this is a form of a zombies perk.
This is going to be a zombies perk. Like, they're going to probably reveal more perks. These perks are awesome anyway. There's always going to be new perks, and I'm thinking for DLC and maps as well. You know, the thing is, the good thing about Black Ops Zombies is you never run out of perks. There's always going to be an idea for this perk, that perk. There's speed boost, damage boost, you know, trap boost, loyalty boost, anything. And that's what makes Black Ops Zombies so fun. There's, you know, infinite scenarios. And if they decide for multiplayer, that's a fantastic idea.
Now, at the moment, I don't think this is something we've seen before in the game, so it can be an all-new perk that we've just never seen before that could have special abilities, but they haven't really mentioned or talked about what this could potentially be, and it probably is going to be included in the blog post for zombies that they plan on posting next week. But other than that, they then posted some images over on Twitter, and this is what they said: "Don't look back, #zombies," and then they had two different images. So first off, you're in the Wonder Vehicle, and then it says or showcases the rear view mirror, and then it says objects in mirror are deadlier than they appear, and then you have the...
And yeah, this is gonna be probably a horde of fast-moving zombies, guys. That's what I said, but it's very, very obvious. Fast-moving zombies are a big thing, including bears. Bears are scary as well. So what do? You add a strong enemy, and then you add like a few weaker ones during the waves.
Air or something like that, and that's another new enemy type that we're going to be getting. And then they also had posted the official poster for Black Ops 7 Zombies, showcasing that Zombear, showcasing some different POIs, the main enemy or the antagonist in the center, and then there's also the Wonder Vehicle, which they've sort of been hyping up quite a bit so far. But that's
It's very obvious here that they are teasing, you know, Black Ops 7 is all about new enemies.
the first thing that
It's all about getting more enemies out there, more enemies on board. Because why? Like, look at Left 4 Dead. They're trying to turn it into Left 4 Dead, and that's a good thing. Look how Left 4 Dead is fun. What do you remember most? Do you remember the zombies, like the tiny little zombies running around and shooting them? Or do you remember like a tank or a boomer or special enemies coming around? Special enemies are making Treyarch literally billions. They're printing money out of
they
the
ended
sky.
up posting in terms of zombies, and I guess finishing off this week, it being a Friday. Now, the thing is, the marketing doesn't officially stop here, because later on, Call of Duty's official page at around 10 a.m. ended up posting this: mark your calendars, the road to the Black Ops 7 beta is packed. And then they posted a roadmap photo. So it says Call of Duty road to beta. We have a couple of things here. The first one, it says September 22nd is the multiplayer reveal trailer. And this is something that does always happen with Call of Duty, where they'll first start off with like a little teaser. You won't really understand too much what's going on, but it has to do with like the lore, the campaign, and the story. Then after that, they have the official gameplay reveal.
I mean, jumping on roofs, you know, going anywhere from roofs. I feel like it's going to be the new big thing for Black Ops, just jumping around. But, you know, they learn from Advanced Warfare. They want to do it more fun, better. They want to do it less repetitive and less futuristic, more about like, yeah, you can go from here to here, and that's it.
Now, mind you, the gameplay reveal usually causes the most amount of confusion because, for example, they ended up doing it this year at Gamescom, and a lot of people saw the footage and automatically assumed that the footage that they were looking at was a multiplayer. But usually what Call of Duty...
I mean, they really learned from the play. Like, a lot of people are saying this game is over, it sucks. A lot of people learned how to do, like, what they're going to improve, and Treyarch did it this year. This map reminds me of Rainbow Six Siege, by the way. Like, it really does. Looks like that Rainbow Six Siege, if anyone played it, that game. But it's very obvious here that Treyarch obviously cares. This is their money printer.
He does every year is the actual gameplay reveal trailer focuses on campaign. So everything, the majority of footage that you're looking at there is campaign with a couple of seconds of multiplayer shown at the very end. But you can't really tell the difference when you're looking at it for the first time, or say like a casual person sees that trailer. So that's why I believe all the hate stemmed, because this is what the majority of the casuals saw, is this weird stuff going on in this trailer. Well, Call of Duty has
Zombies hasn't even...
No, it's not because of that. It's because they thought it's going to be like Advanced Warfare. Boring, futuristic. Nobody wanted that game. But they surprised us. I feel like they changed a lot of stuff as well. Or maybe even like, you know, changed it last second, because they have the funds, they're looking for feedback.
confirmed that we have the multiplayer reveal trailer that's going to be going live on the 22nd, which is just a couple days from now, and is actually this upcoming Monday, which is usually posted very early in the morning. That's when we're actually going to see the multiplayer maps, the operators, the weapons you're going to be able to use, the different sorts of features like the score streaks, kill streaks, and things like that. And I'm not gonna lie, this is where I feel like the Call of Duty sentiment may change a little bit depending on what they see with this reveal trailer. So this is gonna be a very, very big day for Call of Duty, because
I don't think so. I think people will buy it regardless. Nothing is gonna change their minds. Call of Duty could release anything and they would buy it, and that's a good thing. We need a lot of players.
if the actual gameplay of multiplayer looks bad, then it's going to put that nail in the coffin to where people are like, okay, I'm not getting this game. I don't care anymore about it. But if the actual multiplayer reveal trailer looks good, it's grounded, and people thoroughly enjoy what they see from this trailer, then they might be open to maybe trying out the beta, maybe actually going out of their way pre-ordering the game. And then that brings me on to the next few things that they have lined up in their schedule. So the next thing is the Zombies reveal trailer is going to be going up to...
Yeah, so that's going to be the big thing. Again, that's going to be in 5 days, but this multiplayer reveal trailer, people are already going to buy it. Now, global final, I mean, a lot of people are gonna like hope, you know, just like Fortnite World Cup is not here now. This is gonna hype up a lot of people. And also October 2nd to October 5th, also some key dates that I will keep you guys updated with more news.
Days shortly after that, so that's going to be on a Wednesday. So this is pretty much what all the marketing for Zombies this week has been leading up to, because not only are we going to get the Zombies reveal trailer, but most likely that same day is when they're also going to drop the blog post. I feel like they're also going to do the same thing with
They're probably going to be dropping something every single day anyway.
The multiplayer reveal, so they'll have additional images, additional information for those of you guys interested in either multiplayer or zombies. Both modes are going to be eating really good in terms of info next week. And
it's also going to be bringing a lot of new players together. Like they can, you know, the reason why people buy the games is not because they buy one game, they actually buy 3 of them. And Battlefield 2042 promised that, but it couldn't deliver on that. It didn't have the right size. But Treyarch can actually do that.
And after that, they have the COD Bowl, which is going to be on September 30th, along with Call of Duty next. And that's like where you get to see the full-on gameplay, where there's like no cinematics or anything featured with that, but it's good gameplay that you see from your favorite streamers.
I wonder what beta early access is going to be. I'm guessing just multiplayer and then until November.
So we're invited there. There's also Warzone being showcased. Every mode gets a little piece that is revealed. And then there's usually surprises that are often announced there. So if there's like a big map returning, or if there's anything surprising going on, that's going to be when we're going to figure that out and get intel on it. And then after that, they have the World Series of Warzone global finale on October 1st. And then following that, the next day is going to be when the beta begins. So early access, if you have codes or the Game Pass, will begin on the 2nd to the 5th. So you'll be able to jump in right away. If you don't have a beta code or Game Pass, you're going to have to wait until October 5th until the 8th. Now, Call of Duty usually gives out thousands of codes every single time, whether they go live on Twitch and then just start dropping a bunch of codes, or they usually have these like links that you can click on and then instantly get a code through there on Twitter.
I feel like these open betas are guaranteed for those who pre-order, but yeah, so they get enough players. Maybe the first wave is going to be only for those who pre-order, but the second wave is going to be for everyone, just like, you know, Call of Duty. Maybe they even like give you a free item, like a free weapon. That would be amazing.
So I would recommend that you just turn on notifications. I do have a video going specifically over the beta. We'll talk about how you can get beta rewards and free beta codes and things like that in an upcoming video. But that's the current marketing and the lineup that we have for Call of Duty.
Yeah, so the marketing is pretty amazing, to be honest.
At the moment.
Like, it is very good.
They summarize everything you need to know about Black Ops 7 multiplayer. So before the reveal trailer in itself, here are some things that you should know. What's going on, guys? First off, there's going to be 16 6v6 maps at launch, plus 2 additional.
Again, 20 versus 20. I hope one day we can get Black Ops 50 versus 50.
Additional 20v20 maps. So that means there's a total of 18 launch maps for Black Ops 7. Then there's going to be 3 BO2 classic maps.
Imagine just an open world map
that are set in Japan. We already know that's going to be Raid, Hijacked, as well as Express, and then we had images for them already being showcased. There's going to be a new arsenal of 2035 weapons and gear, and there's going to be a total of 30 weapons available on the first day at launch. Then they said including some BO2 inspirations, for example, the M8A1, the Peacekeeper, the DSR. Those are a couple that we've talked about in the past. 16 weapons never before seen in the franchise of Call of Duty. So these are going to be some weapons that are all original, should give you a completely different experience. They did something similar to that with BO6. Then we have overclocking your equipment.
Again, BO2 inspirations, a lot of the maps are from BO2, so I'm not surprised if we don't see that. 16 weapons never seen before. Of course, it's futuristic, so we're going to see weapons, overclock your equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks. I guess like it's kind of like an upgrade, right? So not that special. I could be, you know, mistaken though. Next level Omni movement. We already saw Omni movement before. No tac sprint by default. That's good though.
Field upgrades and
Black Ops classic maps set in Japan. Ooh.
Score streaks, which is like that new feature to where you're now going to be.
I wonder if we will get Nuketown again. I mean, we always get nuked down.
Able to make your equipment even stronger and your field upgrades even stronger, and this rewards players who actually use these score streaks and equipments often, so that way it gives you an additional thing to grind and it unlocks more capabilities for these items. And then they have a new hybrid combat specialty system rewarding more playstyles. So this is like a
I mean, could this be like stealth? I wonder if we're gonna see some stealth. That would be pretty amazing.
way to differentiate yourself from other players, because you can mix and match these specialties to unlock new ones, and the combos are pretty much going to be endless. So that way you can have a combo that other people don't have, and it can give you an advantage in multiplayer. The next one, next level omni movement, basically the addition of wall jumping. So now you can actually wall jump 3 times in a row. The first time you'll have the
now that's gonna be amazing, but again, I feel like omni movement, I personally don't like it because it involves a lot of skill. And you know, when you check Warzone, they use omni movement, and with omni movement you have to multitask so much. It's really like always putting me in the higher bracket. A lot of people don't know how to use it. You need to use it in pro level. Again, in Fortnite, it's fine. I personally don't like it. A lot of people enjoy it. I like it in multiplayer, but not here.
full momentum, and then the second and third
Warzone.
time it'll like slow you down a bit. So they mentioned you don't ping pong all over the map, but that's also a feature. And then no tax
Now, this
sprint by
is cool.
default, so you're automatically gonna have faster
I don't know why he didn't use reflex sight there.
movement speed because of that. And then there's also no manual doors. You don't have to worry about knocking down doors or anything like that. And then they said the full multiplayer reveal at Call of Duty next on the 30th, and then you also have the trailer that we talked about already. But this is everything that you need to know, and this is the current schedule that we have for both.
So yeah, a lot of stuff is going to be happening. What do you guys personally think? Smash that like button and I'll keep you updated. The Call of Duty movie confirmed. Let's check that out. The Call of Duty movie. Now, Call of Duty is it's basically becoming one of the top 10 games. It's like top 6, and people are asking, people still play Warzone? Yeah, it's making billions of revenue, and it probably will for the foreseeable future because it's so addicting. But here we have Call of Duty movie. New season streaming fall 2026. Again, it's bound to happen. Streaming is a huge form of entertainment, and a lot of these video games, you know, Halo, are going into streaming.
Welcome back to a brand new video. Over the last couple of days, we talked about how Activision and Paramount were in talks to gain access to the rights to create a Call of Duty movie. Well,
I mean, this is going to be a big deal. This is on Paramount, so this is going to be big actors, probably big directors, you know, and I'm guessing some sort of a more serious tone. It's not going to be like Beavis and Butthead running around Black Ops. It's 10 times bigger than people expect.
it looks
Black
like
Ops movie is big, guys, and fall 2026 is not that far, which tells me they've been streaming it for a while.
those talks fully went through and they came to an agreement, and now a Call of Duty movie is now officially in the works. So we have all the details and everything that you need to know about that. If you do find the video informative at any point, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. So the first thing is Paramount and Activision's deal is signed for a one live action movie, but it also gives Paramount the rights to also expand Call of Duty to different TV shows and other films. So
I mean, that's pretty normal. If the first series do well, they can do like a second. A lot of movies do that for movie productions.
depending on the success and what they see from this first live action movie that they create, they can expand and dive deeper into the world of Call of Duty. Now, this is what Paramount said about this. Under this milestone partnership, Paramount will develop, produce, and distribute a live action feature film based on Call of Duty, designed to thrill its massive global fan base by delivering on the hallmarks of what fans love about the iconic series. While boldly expanding the franchise to entirely new audiences, both companies are committed to honoring the brand's rich narrative and distinctive style, promising an authentic and exciting experience for longtime fans and newcomers alike. Now, they use a lot of buzzwords here, but the most important thing is, from my understanding, it looks like they're gonna actually base it off Call of Duty in terms of the story. And
I mean, that's good. Call of Duty has already a great story. Look what happened with Borderlands. They don't need to change it. It's absolutely perfect anyway. So that's good. No need to change that. And again, if the first movie does well, there's going to be more to that, just like Fallout got a season 2. That's why they got this deal.
Not gonna try to come up with like a Call of Duty original storyline or something like that, which would definitely, in my opinion, be going the wrong direction, and I'm pretty sure many of you guys would agree with that. Now, the next thing that they went ahead and said, we are approaching this film with the same discipline, uncompromising commitment to excellence that guided our work on Top Gun Maverick. So they're not even talking about Halo, because we know how their reenactment and the season of Halo turned out, but they said they're going to take it to a different approach and follow Top Gun Maverick, which was a blockbuster hit. And then they said ensuring it meets,
I mean, I would love some stealth missions, so that would be nice,
the exceptionally high standards this franchise and its fans deserve. The Paramount CEO follows up saying, I can promise that we are resolute in our mission to deliver a cinematic experience that honors the legacy of this one-in-a-million brand, thrilling longtime fans of Call of Duty while captivating a whole new generation. And with these words, they're giving the fan base quite a bit of hope. We have really high standards for a Call of Duty movie. It's something that's never been done before. In the past, it was something that they attempted to do, but it always fell short. So,
and I guess also budget funds, or maybe like the story wasn't good enough. Now they really invested in good writers. They have a good story. Literally movie level of story, and that's like a big brand IP to do here.
This time around, considering they now have the rights and they are going to start working on it, this is something that we may end up seeing in theaters, and hopefully it's actually good. Now, alongside this, people were very skeptical because we saw what they did with Halo. They had a couple of comments and things to say about that. Now, this also puts...
Yeah, but Halo is completely different, you know, in terms of aspect. I feel like people learn from Halo, like a lot of movie directors learn from the movie.
Heavy pressure on Paramount because they weren't the only ones
Look at this level of detail. You could put that in the video game.
Competing to get the rights of Call of Duty. They actually were the ones who ended up getting it, but someone else wanted them as well. Now, Charlie Intel posted this. He said Steven Spielberg wanted to direct a Call of Duty movie and even pitched his vision and idea to Activision. Activision was spooked for the reason that Spielberg wanted.
I mean, he wants full control because he wants to make an awesome movie. That's the reason. They thought that he will change the story too much, but he wants to add his own stuff. Like, that's an amazing... Personally, I would just try to make 2 movies and go for it.
Full control of the movie and its direction, and instead they went ahead and made the deal with Paramount. Now, and here's the reason why. It says, according to 3 of Baloney's sources, the Saving Private Ryan director teamed up with Universal to pitch the COD.
Now that's good. Now that's a good director, you know. That's why I feel like, you know, deal include a top of the market economics, final cut, and full control over production and marketing. This is the problem. Production and marketing, what if they want to like introduce some stuff inside? Maybe they want to mix it with skins or the game, and Spielberg says no. This is why they didn't like this deal. You know, he could control how much they spend, what they spend.
Movie to Activision. However, Spielberg's deal included top of market economics, final cut, and full control over the production and marketing. Activision reportedly got spooked by this and instead went with Paramount CEO and chairman David Ellison's pitch.
I mean, they're both like but perfect in terms of movie industry. So it's not really like, yeah, it is bad that Steven Spielberg didn't work, but it's not like they're not going to work with him in the future.
The official announcement, Ellison said, as a lifelong fan of Call of Duty, this is a dream come true. So now we know that Paramount has the rights to it, but the question is, who's going to be the director? We still don't have that information as of right now. Now, the thing about this, they follow up and say that we don't know who's making Paramount's COD movie yet, but Extraction director Sam Haygraves said there's potential in a Warzone movie. And this is speaking to Deserto in 2023. He said anytime an IP
So potentially they were building in secret and it's now coming out.
Exists that there's a huge fan base for and has a cinematic quality like a Warzone type thing, I think there's always potential there. Now, before we talk about that, one other thing is, according to Hunter, he says that COD World War II's campaign is inspired by a Steven Spielberg movie. So the fact that they actually said no to him is a little crazy. And imagine if he was the one who directed a Call of Duty movie. I feel like this definitely would be.
I mean, yeah, that would be so campaigned by Steven Spielberg movie, and they said no and gave it to Paramount. I mean, didn't he make Saving Private Ryan? Who's this Steven Spielberg? Saving Private Ryan, director Steven Spielberg. Yeah, I mean, that would be an amazing movie, and he's a lifetime COD fan. But yeah, what can you do? They weren't fully confident he could make the movie, but who knows? He knows the lore. I think it could be a mistake, but the issue is, what if he wants to spend a lot of money in the movie and it flops? That's what they're worried about. They want to have, their own pals as well over control.
Imagine if he was the one who directed a Call of Duty movie. I feel like this definitely would be better than what Paramount is planning on giving us. There's still hope that maybe Paramount could reach out to him and then hire him as the director and then follow his guide through this, and maybe it could be a successful movie. Now,
I mean, he will want to do it in his own terms to protect his legacy as well.
the major question that I know many of you guys have is, what is this movie going to be based on? There is so much story, there's so much material that they can use for a Call of Duty movie that we could probably get a movie every single year for like the next 20 years. At the moment, I don't think it's gotten that deep yet, so they still haven't begun casting anyone. They haven't really gotten scripts or anything like that done, meaning it's a little early before we figure that information out, but there's quite a bit of things they can do. First off, they can just start off with Modern Warfare. That's a series that they can follow through, create this.
They can just see and ask people what's the best story and just make a story of that. I feel like people would even watch a remake.
Story based on that, maybe have the Task Force 141 members as a part of the crew, maybe even bring in some of the actors that we had over the last few Modern Warfares to recast them and play their own characters. That would make the most sense, right? And then follow through with that. Later on, maybe they could jump into like a TV series or something to feature the Black Ops storyline, or maybe start.
Like, it's already movie level. Like, they got a script, they got everything. All they need to do is make some changes.
A different movie series for that. And then there's also the zombie storyline, and that gets deep. It's probably one of the most well-written things that I've seen in a while. Zombies has just been going on.
Now, I feel like they could put it in 2 movies, right? That's why Paramount made a deal. Hey, we can make a zombies movie in the future.
For years and years, and it gets more and more complex, and I feel like a movie explaining everything would be something that people would love to see. And then there's also the Warzone story and side of things that they talked about in the actual, like, the blog that they posted over on Deserto. So what are your thoughts and opinions? What do you want to see Call of Duty do first? But once we get more information, they're probably going to start giving us information on who they're casting, what's going on with that, and we may get consistent updates on that. And right now, it's still very, very early, so this is something that we probably won't be seeing for a couple of years. Maybe next year we'll get...
Don't we get, like, fall 2026 in the thumbnail? I feel like that wasn't real, but yeah, maybe 3 years. Again, maybe they could rush it. First look deal with Paramount to star in major theatrical movies. Wow, okay.
Paramount to star in a major theatrical movie based on IP owned by Paramount. His production company will also develop original major films for the studio. And the majority of the replies are, is he going to be a Call of Duty character? Is he going to be, who's he going to be playing? Does this have to do with Call of Duty? And some people were saying, oh, maybe he's coming in as like Captain Price or something like that. But from what I'm reading here, it looks like this is an IP owned by Paramount, so not something they have the rights to, meaning that it's not Call of Duty, and this is something...
I don't think Will Smith will cast in Call of Duty. I think it will be like, someone like this story would be absolutely perfect.
They finish the talking and the agreement stuff, and then once they get into working on it, we'll have updated information. But that is all that I have for you guys here in today's video.
Very decent video. Like, again, these guys could make this story real. Smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. I'm going to catch some rest. Until next time.